Hello hosts, this is Melissa.
And this is Greg, and we are here to get you ready for your next session of Group Life Together series called CART.
And this is the last session of the Together series, and we're pretty sure there are no groups where everyone has solved all their relationship problems, but we do know your group has really gone through a lot together and hopefully built some deeper friendships. And that really matters, and it really matters that you've been working on your relationships together, because as Greg has said in these, if you're not working on them, they will wither, but if we are at least putting that effort in, they will grow, and we can trust that. So there is a
We're
good...
closing at 9.
Okay, thanks. Darn. They're closing at 9, but we do want you to hear from Diane. Should we keep that in there?
I think so.
All right, we're keeping this in. So we want you to hear from Diane. She is part of a group and just is a great encouragement of how much this really matters that you've been doing this. So here's Diane.
Hello, Jacobs Well. This is Jay and Diane Heine.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about group life. The group that we're a part of is the Sunday night group, composed mostly of couples, though we'll take anybody. Anyways, sweetheart, what interests you most about group life?
I think I like group life mostly for the relationships that we've formed with these people. They're just all amazing people, and just having the discussions, getting feedback from each other on different ways that we deal with our marriages, our kids, and God. It's really a great thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and we always have really great snacks.
That's true. Very, very good
Good
snacks.
treats. Yeah.
Yes.
Coffee and cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I joined really for the same reasons as you, sweetheart. I moved back to the Twin Cities, so I wanted to get to know people a little bit better. And I also wanted the chance to talk about Jesus, God, the Bible, more one-on-one with people. I wanted more of that connection, and felt that it was easier for me to do that maybe in a group setting, in a more intimate setting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why I joined. So
yeah, we've gone to Group Life for 2 years now, right?
Yes.
Last winter and this winter. So, and we would highly recommend it to anybody, because that's where we've really met the people, and it made the church feel even smaller, where we, get to know everybody. And so, absolutely best decision we ever made going there.
yes,
Right?
that's correct. One of the best decisions.
Besides getting married.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
take care. God bless.
Hey, thanks so much for that word from your group, Dan. We're glad you're getting a lot out of that. So there are so many ways that we grow as individuals in our own personal well-being, in our faith, and in our relationships. And this group of people that you've invested this time with is a real important part of having supportive community that's going to help you continue to grow. So keep that going. Don't let something this valuable lose too easily. As you get ready for another season of group life, there's going to be some transition in your groups. There might be some people, because of scheduling or because maybe they just don't fit in this group, are going to have to find another group. And that's okay. Don't take that personally. A transition happens, and it's not an unhealthy thing for groups. In fact, it's a very healthy thing for us to have that. If nothing else, it opens up room for new people. So let those things happen, and if you want us to help you walk through some of that process, we're glad to help you do that as well. As you get ready for the next series that'll be coming up, if you haven't addressed that issue already, this is a good time to initiate the conversation about continuing on with each other. And in fact, we've got some really good stuff coming up. In the start of April, we'll be bringing in a new series based on the TED Talks, which you maybe have seen on the internet. They're just fantastic.
They're awesome.
Yeah, 15 minutes of mind-blowing things that will take you into ideas and conversations about life in general that you maybe have never thought you were going to be having otherwise. So enjoy those.
So for tonight, this session called CART, it is about putting first things first. And I don't have to tell you how hard that is. Your life quickly fills up with lots of things, and they aren't necessarily those most important things in your life. So the goal obviously isn't to make everyone solve that problem, but to struggle with it together. And that is where your group comes in.
That's right. So in this video, you'll be hearing me talk to you about having a grocery cart, and I filmed this in a grocery store, which is pretty obvious which one when you see it. And yes, I felt very awkward doing this. So it was a fun afternoon, but that grocery cart is something we can fill up with stuff that we don't need so much, and maybe run out of room for the stuff that's really important in life. And I think life is sort of it's a case study for us of how do we find what is the most important things and how do we spend the most time possible on them, and then figure out what's not so important and spend as little time on those unimportant things as possible. You're going to have this chart in your groups with what's most important, what's less important to me, what do I spend the most time, what do I spend the least time in. Obviously, trying to get most of your time invested in these two quadrants is the key to that whole thing. That's one way to visualize it and to be able to talk about it, both theoretically and personally for yourselves. We also have another good concrete way for you to do that.
There's a really cool way, and you may have seen it, and it involves big rocks, which represent those important things, and sand also.
Little rocks.
Little rocks.
Very little rocks.
Yeah, and we're going to have a demonstration on our website with all these materials that shows how that works, and it is really cool, and it really gets at this idea in another way that could work well for your group. So I encourage you to watch that and maybe even watch it together, but even better, do it with your group. What if you had a jar and some big rocks and some little rocks, and you got to send everyone home with this tangible reminder of not only your group, but also of those things in their lives that really matter to them. So I encourage you to go for it and try that.
That's right. One of the neat things about that demonstration too is it shows you that when you do all the big important stuff, there is still a lot of room for other things. I think one of the things that we worry about is that this relationship stuff is just so hard, and how am I ever going to do it right? And if I'm always doing it right, am I just like taking all the joy out of my life because I'm just working so hard and doing the right thing all the time? And that shows you that when you do some of these, get these first things first, there still is space, and you can get other stuff in your life, but it only works when the big things, the first things do go first. So it is a good thing to do with each other. So, like I said before, you've invested a lot in these relationships, and they are important to you. They are the way that God has been working and will be working in your life, and you will be working in their lives. So hang on to this. We thank you for what you are doing to build Jacob's Walls community, to your Group Life group.
And we do know that maybe you've been a little busier than maybe you expected with this Group Life, or sometimes it felt like it was a lot. But we hope that you've also realized what a big blessing it can be, and that you found that for yourself. It does seem like when we share, there's a substance to that comes not so easily through other things. So thanks for taking that risk and sharing yourself. It's good stuff.
God's blessings. Bye-bye.
Caribou is now closing.